Hey y'all, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane and today is January 13th, 2019. I am so happy to welcome all of you to the show. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for joining me this week. I am happy to welcome you here and I hope that you enjoy what you're watching. And if you are a returning viewer, then thank you so much for coming back to watch and continuing with my with my semi-crazy self. I am flying by my pants. Flying by my pants. Not. I am flying by the seat of my pants. This week I don't have show notes. I don't have a ton of new exciting knitting because I am still very monogamously working on things, trying to get some things done. And also I have started really dyeing again full time, post Vlogmas, post holiday, post December. So the kids went back to school last week and I really was like, okay, back to work. No more knitting for 10 hours a day. Not that there was ever that, but you know. So some fun, exciting things that we have to announce is that after last week, there is an overwhelming majority and decision to continue with the Rainbow Along. I thought we didn't do it last year and I went and looked and we totally did. So we've never missed a year, which makes it even better. I think that this is the 5th year. I'm almost positive that we started it during the 2014 Olympics. And so that was the first year. And then this will be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, this will be the 6th year, right? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yes, the 6th annual, that's frightening in and of itself, 6th annual Rainbow Along, which is so exciting. I will put the general rules and things in the Ravelry thread, but generally speaking, it is any project that can be considered rainbow in color or theme. And if you think it's a rainbow, then it's a rainbow. The one caveat to that I will say is that if it's a self-striping yarn that's made up of purples, blues, and greens, that's a pretty gradient, but it's probably not in the true spirit of a rainbow, I guess I would say. But if you've got like a gradient that goes across, you know, warms and cools, or, you know, 4, 5 or more colors of a rainbow, that is something that I would say is in the general spirit. Now, there's no rainbow police that are going to come call you out. But we're just, you know, doing things that are in the spirit of the knit along. In the past, I've had a finished objects thread and a like a chatter thread. And this year it's just going to be one thread. There's fewer prizes. There's just a handful of prizes, which is just fine. I have prizes. I have a couple of people that have offered up some patterns and that's great. Anybody else that contacts me from here on out, your pattern donations are going to go into our regular Get Suburban Knit Along pattern donation queue. And so I have a couple of pattern donations. I have a bag donation that I'll be getting information out to you. There's no sponsors, there's no points. It's just knitting along, encouraging each other, and then I'll draw winners from the thread. So if you're chatting and participating, then you get chances to win. And if you are just finishing and knitting, whips definitely count. So finish things up. Let's just chat and do all things rainbow. Sorry for that interruption. Okay, so that is the Rainbow Along. The Get Suburban 2019 is going strong. We are only a week into it, and so I'm not going to pull a prize this week because I just started it last week. and I will wait for another, since I only have 2 weeks worth of chatter, and it's just a couple of people that have chatted. So it is a one thread for everything again for that knit along this year. And definitely make sure that you are participating, because that's how to win. I think that's it for announcements, and let's get to the knitting. I have no finished objects. I am continuing with my test knit that I showed you but didn't show you last week, and so all I'm gonna say is that that's still going on. I am not done with it. Because I'm not done with it, I really haven't allowed myself too much time to knit on much of anything else. The second work in progress that I will show is my Plumpy Shawl. Again, I think last week I had finished this whole garter stitch section. And I've been weaving in my ends as I go, which is kind of amazing. So I have sections 1, 2, 3, and I'm on section 4 that is a brioche section, and I've just done a couple of repeats here. Again, I am really trying to focus on that test knit, and I am not letting myself stray too much, because I have other things that I want to knit after that test knit. So I really am trying to stay focused. But that being said, I will talk about the yarn for this project. This is the Plumpy Shawl by Andrea Mowry. And the yarn that I am using is Hedgehog Fibers in Gossip, which is this color. It's the first color that I used. Hot pink and purple speckly neon speckle. I have a, this is Rose Hip, which is one of the colors that I'm using now. Sort of a neon peach and white with neon speckles. And then I have this is, I'm trying to untangle this. This is Accidentally in Love by Woolen Boon, and it's a kind of a scummy yellowy green with speckles. And I'm pretty excited. Not much to share, not much to show, but it's ongoing. The last work in progress that I have worked on, and this actually has gotten quite a bit of attention, so much so that I thought I might have it finished this week, but I don't. So let's hope for next week. I have, gosh, I may go grab a sock blocker so you can see. So I have been working on these Obliviate socks for a year and a half, for sure. And I have the first one completed, totally done. And here's my progress on the second one. So this just lives in my purse. I do not work on it at home. It is carpools and sporting events for the kids, and anytime that I'm somewhere, you know, waiting room, doctor appointments, all my travel and purse and waiting room and sitting, waiting for the train, knitting. It is a beautiful patterned sock pattern by Sarah Stevens, who is of Graceland Wool, and it has a pretty cable on the back and then just textured stitches on the front. I'm knitting it out of a sock blank from Leading Men Fiber Arts. I have it knotted up here just so that it doesn't get all tangled in the bag. But that is let's see, that's kind of how the blank looks. And this is how it's knitting up. So I think it's pretty cool to see kind of the before and after. But I'm really enjoying it. And I'm almost done, so that's great. Then after this is done, I will have 2 socks on the needles. One is a Christmas sock and one is my Galliano socks. Neither of which have gotten much attention in the last several months. But I'm trying to focus on one pair at a time. And then I also, of course, want to cast on a million pairs for Rainbow Along because glittery, stripy socks sound amazing. So that's really it for knitting, right? Who am I? I'm so monogamous. Hello, lovelies. I have one thing to show you. This week, it is actually a purchase, but it is a purchase that I'm very excited about, and it is not yarn. It is a pattern book, a stitch dictionary, I guess more accurately. It is called Alternate Stitch Dictionary, and this is by Andrea Rangel. And Andrea is a beautiful, beautiful knitter and person that I had the pleasure of meeting in Canada this year. I met her at Knit City. She probably doesn't even remember that, but I did. And then I met her again and actually got to visit and spend time with her at the Knit Social Industry Retreat, I think was what it was called, which was amazing. So amazing. So many beautiful people attended, and just some great relationships and times were had there. So anyway, I'm very excited about this. I have some yarn that is coming out soon that I think I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys. It still is a week or two away from debuting, but I'll show y'all at the very end. But I have some of it that I want to knit up and have as a sample, or at least a work in progress that's kind of started. And I was looking for the perfect pattern and I couldn't find it. And I thought, oh my gosh, Diane, what you want to do, you can totally write that pattern. So I'm totally going to write the pattern. And I'm going to look for, well, I'm not going to look for, I already have the one picked out, the design, the pattern that I'm going to use. And it is going to be a colorwork cowl. And I am so excited. I'm so excited. 2-color colorwork cowl, very simple. It's going to be easy colorwork, or at least that's my intent. And yeah, I hope that you like it. I think it's going to be amazing. And hopefully I will, I'm not letting myself cast it on until I finish that sock. So that's that. So that is Alternate Stitch Dictionary by Andrea Rangel. And she lives in Victoria. So she's on Vancouver Island. I'm pretty sure she's in Victoria or Victoria area. Let's see if it says. Let's see. I don't know that it says in here, but it probably says on her Instagram. So, yes, it says she lives on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. So I was right. Okay, so first I want to talk about a few shop update things that are going in the shop tomorrow. And I will probably hit publish on that shop update tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time, or Central Daylight? No, Central Standard Time. Central Time, because I never can remember when it's standard and when it's daylight. Pretty sure daylight savings time is, I don't know, I'd be guessing. I have no idea. So I have 3 colors for sure, 3 kind of bigger, like across a few bases, color updates. And then I'm also going to have some little like bits and bobs of updates on kind of some random colors, random bases that you'll see when you look in the shop tomorrow at noon. So I have this color that's called Rainbow Feathers. This is in honor of the rainbow along. This was a color that was part of like a kit exclusive color last year that was like a bag and yarn kit. Not even last year, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, it's these kind of fun Easter eggy rainbow colors. So perfect for spring, perfect for rainbow along. I will have it on sock and merino DK, which is 100% merino. My sock base is a 4-ply 75/25 merino nylon. The other rainbow along inspired color that I will have in the shop is Granny Square, which is one of my favorites. And this is what it looks like. It is a gray background, very similar to Cinder, maybe a little bit darker than Cinder even, but it has rainbow speckles. And I will have that on merino DK and sock. I think there will also be minis of this one as well. And then a color that is not so much rainbow along, in that it's not at all rainbows, but it's kind of thematically timed because of Valentine's Day coming up next month. So this is one of my favorite colors. I love it so much. It is called Mixtape Romance. This was definitely a mystery club from last year. And this is coming on several bases, I think 4 or 5. So this is kind of what they look like all together. It is a very highly variable skein of yarn. Every single skein looks same colors, but very different concentrations. So I can't say, oh, it's mostly purple with pinks, or it's mostly pinks with strawberry red, or, oh, there's no way you can say any of those, because some skeins are mostly pink with purple, some are pink and purple with a little bit of the red, and it's just the luck of the draw as to how it comes out, which is kind of what I love about it. So I will have it on merino DK, sock, singles, my single sock, which is 100% merino, and mohair. I love how the mohair dyed up. And I will also have minis of that one as well. So that is that for the update tomorrow that I can think of to show you. So the last thing that I think I'm ready to talk about it. I'm so excited. It's kind of ridiculous because I've been spoiling it on Instagram and giving little teasers, and I'm just so excited. I can't even, you guys. I have been thinking about this thing since July, literally since July. And I kind of thought, oh, that would be amazing to do in July. And then in August, I started like really thinking about what I wanted to do. And then in September, the ball started rolling. And then since then we are so close to launching this collaborative, and collective, I'm not really sure what the word is. It's kind of both. It's a collective, let's say collective. It is called the Peach Collective. And I love all things peach. I love peaches, like the actual fruit. I love the color. I love the scent. They're so like crisp and clean and summery and fresh. I love everything about peaches. I love them so much. And they're very Southern, and that feels very authentically Dianne. And so I have, I mean, gosh, I haven't written it all down together how many makers, 7, 8 different makers that all have made a peach themed or scented or colored thing, and we're all launching it on the suburbanstitcher.com website in a week or two. I'm so excited. So the Peach Collective. This is the logo, and Suburban Stitcher Peach Collective. And I love this so much. The first, the first, little set of orders, however many come in, we'll get this super cute sticker. And so let me show you some of the items. I did not really plan on showing all this today, and I'm just too excited. I'm just talking about it. Okay. So the thing that got my head spinning and thinking about this was Tuft Woolens. I wanted a custom scent, and every time I think about what feels very Dianne, and I kept coming back to peaches. And so I had Martha at Tuft Woolens create a signature scent for Suburban Stitcher. The only place you will ever find this scent is in my shop. It cannot be purchased at any other event, any other place, only with me, which is super exciting. So depending on how this does, I hope to have this at events when I travel, and in the shop as often as I can get it and keep it in stock as the demand demands. So the scent is called Just Peachy, and it's amazing. So we will have Just Peachy wool wash and hand balm. And oh, I should say that this collective, this is not a one kit fits all type of event update. Everything that will be in this update is all peach in color or theme, or kind of working with this color scheme that I set out. But basically it's like a create your own kit. There is no minimum amount. If you just want peach hand balm, then you can just buy peach hand balm. If you want just one of the other items that I'm going to show or start showing and talking about, then that's what you get, which is great, because sometimes, I love part of a big collaborative kit, but I don't love all of it. And, maybe I really love the yarn and the pattern, or I really love the, one of the yarns and the bag, but I don't want the extras, or I don't need the extras. And so this way you get exactly what you want. You get exactly what you want, with no pressure, which I love. And so there's a price point for everybody, which was very important to me. Okay, so we have Tuft Woolens, Just Peachy, exclusive scent. We have, I'm very excited about. We will have some tins, stitch marker tins from Firefly Notes, who is a wonderful business that I met in Vancouver. And these are like little slidable tins. I have something else in here right now, but there will be some thematically appropriate stitch markers in these tins if you purchase one. And then there will also be stitch markers alone for purchase. The fabric. So this fabric, when I started thinking about peach, I kind of searched for peach fabric, and I could have gone with something that was like peaches on fabric. And the more I thought about it, I thought, well, yeah, that's certainly an option and certainly the theme, but I just felt like I don't know that I want to carry around a project bag that has peaches on it. but I would probably carry around a project bag with a beautiful peach colored fabric. So I found one that I absolutely love, and this is being made into some beautiful drawstring sock-sized project bags by Michelle of Studio in the Green. And I'm so thrilled to work with her. We have been online buds for years, and I cannot wait until you guys get to see the amazing bags that she's making. I'm so excited, and they will be out of this fabric. And then I started thinking, okay, well, what yarn do I want to bring? Well, I knew peach tea. I mean, it's like one of my favorites. So peach tea will be coming back. I just pulled one out that I had dyed that's on bulky. This is not in the shop yet. It will be going up in the shop when I launch this collaborative. So I've purposely not had this around, kind of holding back to bring peach tea back. So I knew that I wanted to bring that back. And then I started looking at this fabric and thinking, well, I'm gonna dye something that's specific to this. And when I look at this, I thought, well, it's very like this bohemian, sort of rustic bohemian, casual, like cabbage rose, bohemian romantic kind of feel. So I created a yarn color called La Boheme. Oh my gosh, it's not going to show up at all. That's a little bit better. So you can see that it has flashes of peach, kind of some light blue, and then it has speckles of green and brown and orange, and this slate blue color that I love. So you can see some of the speckles on there. So it's a neutral with some beautiful details, and I think that it mimics that quite nicely. So this color is called La Boheme. So we have La Boheme and peach tea. I also am, again, I've been holding it back a little bit with an intent to like relaunch it, Nudie Patootie. It's one of my favorite non-color colors because it's sort of a peachy background with speckles. So that looks nice with those. And then the last color that I have dyed is a peachy pink because the background of this fabric is kind of is that peach, the stripes. Is it peach? Is it pink? What is it? We don't know. So I had a color a couple of years ago that I dyed up, specifically created as part of my starting point kits, and it was called Dahlia. Now Dahlia was kind of a mix of several dyes put in a, made as a semi-solid, and then I speckled it because I needed it to make sense to the other yarns that were in that set for the starting point shawl. But I haven't really dyed it as a standalone color. And so I have reimagined Dahlia because it's the same dyes minus the speckles with a little bit different formula. And yeah, so this is Dahlia. It is a beautiful peachy pink color. And the thing that I love about it the most is that one of the dyes in here, a lot of times I'm sure you'll hear dyers say, or maybe you have, they'll say something like, oh, the dye broke, or the dye, it wasn't all the way dissolved, or there was something. And every time I dye it, one of the colors that's in this recipe kind of does that. And I love it. I love the way that it does it in this combination, because it leaves these absolutely microscopic little pinky purple speckles that I love. So I don't know if they're coming across on the screen, but that's a really good picture of the yarn itself. It's very tonal, lots of lights and darks, lots of peaches and pinks that give you just an overall beautiful color. So this is Dahlia and La Boheme, gorgeous together, and Peach Tea. And let's see. And here is Nudie Patootie. So these colors are coming to the shop in a week or two as part of this collaboration. So that is just so exciting. Here is, if you're wondering, this is Cinder and this is La Boheme. I wound these up together as what I'm probably going to knit that colorwork cowl out of. And I did this because I wanted to see how they looked together. And I think I like it. Okay, so the other things that are in this collaboration. We've talked about Tuft Woolens, we've talked about Studio in the Green bags, we've talked about Suburban Stitcher yarn, and we've talked about stitch markers. Next up, Mrs. Brown's bags. Mrs. Brown, Jody Brown, has a knit swatch knit out of La Boheme, and I will have bags in the shop that are like a shawl-sized zipper bag out of La Boheme. I'm so excited. They're winging their way from Canada as we speak. So that's 5 makers. Then I have Kirby Werby Yarns, who is a self-striping yarn dyer, has created a self-striping colorway based on this fabric that is absolutely mind-blowingly gorgeous. It's amazing. What else? Maybe that's it. That might be it. So 6 different makers, plus some other little bits and bobs that will be available. I'm so excited. Thank you for listening to my 14 minutes of that. I hope you're as excited about it as I am. I hope that it's interesting to you how I came across, like how I thought of this theme, and then I called upon my friends who are business owners to help me out with it. And oh, I forgot no, I knew there were 7. So exciting. There is a pattern, a sock pattern that is being designed out of La Boheme by Susie White of Prairie Girl Designs. And Susie is designing a gorgeous textured sock pattern that we will be showing soon out of this yarn. And then I have some people that are knitting up samples. I have a sweater that's being sample knit out of Dahlia. I will have a sample of Susie's pattern in La Boheme. Yeah, so many things happening. So thank you for watching. I hope that you are getting excited about that collaboration with me. As soon as I have more finalized things in hand, some of the things, it's going to be like a pre-order thing where we'll take the orders and maybe everything will ship out in about 3 weeks, because some of the items we just don't know how many people are going to want, and so they have to be a pre-order, just simply put. So they will be, all of that information will be coming, but I just couldn't hold on to this without giving you more information. I'm so excited. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a lovely week and you get all the knitting done. Bye, y'all.